This is a video that I'm putting together for my students in my Drawing 2 classes, but it's certainly available for anyone who might be interested in the Horn Island expedition. If you don't know what the Horn Island expedition is, let me kind of briefly explain it to you. The Horn Island expedition is a trip that's taken every year by Memphis College of Art students and faculty and alumni down to a small island just off the coast of Mississippi called Horn Island. It's a completely uninhabited island. We go down there every year in honor of the artist Walter Anderson, who spent a lot of time out there on that island in the 20th century. We go down there in sort of in honor of him, and we spend about 8-9 days out there camping with only the amenities that we bring along with us. And after those 8 or 9 days are over, we return, come back to Memphis, and you're given the opportunity then to put together a body of work based on your experiences at Horn Island that will then be put together and presented in an exhibition, a show, right at the beginning of the fall semester at MCA. It'll be upstairs in the main big gallery and downstairs for that matter. So if you're that sounds interesting to you at all, I mean, it's certainly a difficult, not so much difficult. It's roughing it. Going to Horn Island, you're definitely going to be roughing it. You're not going to be bringing the Hilton along with you. You're going to be camping out and living in some conditions that are going to be pretty hot while we're there. And you're going to have to walk and trudge through sand to get everywhere that you want to go. So it's not for everyone, and I don't try to advocate it for everyone. I just don't. Not everyone can handle it. But I'm hoping, through the things that I'll show you in this video, where we'll just kind of take a little tour of the island. That's all I'm really planning with this particular video. I'm hoping that maybe with these things that those of you who might be sort of on the fence, not quite sure if you want to go or not, or if this would be something that would be up your alley or not, that maybe seeing this will help you kind of make up your mind. I personally have went a few years now. I went in 2006, 2007, 2008, and 2009, and I would have gone last year in 2010, except that I had some health problems that decided to creep up and rear their ugly heads right at the moment they were supposed to be leaving, so that kind of kept me put, and I wasn't able to leave with the rest of the group. And it kept me home the entire time. I plan not to let that happen this time around. But anyway, let's take a look at some of the stuff that I've put together for this video. This is a map of the Mississippi Sound. All of the land that you can see to the north is the Mississippi Gulf Coast, except for that little bit of Alabama that you can see over to the west. To the south, you can see a series of islands that are running in a line from east to west. These are the barrier islands. The longest one you can see here is Horn Island. This is our destination. It'll be home for 8 days. We'll get there by taking a boat from Pascagoula, Mississippi, across the sound to our campsite on the island. Let's zoom in a little closer here and take a look at the island itself, where we'll be camping and some of the landmarks on Horn Island. As you can see, Horn Island is considerably longer east to west than it is north to south. I believe I was told that it's about 14 miles from east tip to west tip and no more than about 3/4 of a mile across at its widest point. That's quite a bit of acreage, so we're not going to spend time looking at all of it. I just want to hit certain points. First off, let's start with where we'll land and the site for our main camp. We'll land on the north shore over to the east, right here. So, here we are on the north shore, looking at the beach where we'll set up the main camp. We always make camp just north of this lagoon that you can see here.
I'm not entirely certain just by looking at this map, but our main camp should be somewhere in this approximate area. The main camp is a large tent with shade tarps on all four sides. Underneath, there is quite an impressive kitchen setup. Water storage, medical supplies, and things of that nature. This will be our daily meeting point, and the spot where we will all gather for dinner. Faculty, older alumni, and a lot of the locals who come with us each year usually pitch their personal tents on the north side of the island, in the general vicinity of the main camp. Most of the students, younger alumni, and even some of the younger faculty set up camp on the southern beach. As a result, the north side has come to be lovingly referred to as the Codger side. The trip from the main camp to the southern camp requires you to walk a trail that cuts across the width of the island. The very first time that you take the trip, it'll feel like the longest distance you've ever walked in your life. But it's amazing how, by the end of the expedition, it'll seem like nothing. Here it is. The southern beach in this area is, as you can tell, much more expansive than the northern beach. Students usually end up setting up camp in what becomes a huge tent city along the southern shore here. Let's zoom out a bit and get a better perspective on this layout. So, remember, this is the main camp, and down here is the south side camp on the southern beach. The trail in between them is one that you'll traverse many, many times over the course of the expedition. Now then, let's take a little trip westward from main camp along the northern shore and check out a few of the landmarks there are to see. Now, don't be fooled by the seemingly short distance between these places on this map. To get to any of them will require a good trek. Sometimes a boat is required to visit the first landmark, and sometimes you can walk out to it depending on the tide. Here, just off the northern coast, there is this sunken barge. It can actually be seen from base camp protruding out of the water. Bob Reisling, who teaches painting at MCA, has done a few series of paintings based on what can be seen of the wreckage above the water. If we move now a little further west along the shoreline, we come to yet another landmark. Horn Island is a federally protected wildlife reserve, and so there is a ranger station near the center of the island. And this is the ranger station pier. When making the long walk across the north shore westward, the ranger pier is often a good place to take a break since it provides some good shade. The last couple of years that I have gone to the Horn Island, it has also become one of my favorite spots to do watercolors because it offers different perspectives out away from the island than I have while sitting in the sand. Now, there's another area of interest even further west. This one is quite a walk, 8 miles or so from the camp, I believe. You have to wade through a couple of inlets of water as you walk along the north shore to get there. It's an area close to the western tip of the island where, according to what I've read, there was a laboratory for producing and testing bioweapons around the time of World War II. It's abandoned now, and has been nearly wiped away completely by Mother Nature. But the ruins that remain are referred to as the Chimney area. The walk there is long, like I said, and tough. But I enjoy making the trip now and then. For me, it's quite odd to find something so suggestive of human history, human violence even, slowly being weathered away by the natural world. Especially when you are standing on an island with so few references to the human life at all.
So as I mentioned before, once you return from Horn Island, you're expected to put together a body of work that will go into an exhibition that will open up right at the beginning of the school semester. And all of the work that is in that exhibition is for sale. So if you sell a few pieces, you can recoup some of your money that you may have had to spend to actually get down there. Now, not everything that you put in may sell. I've certainly had pieces that didn't sell, and as a result, I have work that ends up sort of decorating my dining room, if you will. So here in this dining room, I have what you can see over here is a large-scale drawing that I did one of the years. Looks like 2008 from the date that I can see written down on there. And then over to this side, back behind me, there is a painting that I did. It's an acrylic. It was kind of, based on sort of the footprints and sand patterns and things like that I would see there on the island. That says 2006 on it. So that's the very first year that I went. Painting that didn't sell. And then over here to this side are a couple of other little small ink drawings that don't actually show up on the within the frame on the camera here. You may or may not sell, but certainly the work and the experiences that you can have there are life-changing. No, I didn't sell these pieces that are right here behind me, but I hang on to them. And I don't know that I would sell these. They remind me of really pleasant memories and things that happened while I was there on that island. So if any of what I have talked about is in the least bit interesting to you, then get in contact with people. I know that the information gathering meetings have begun. There's already been one so far that I'm aware of. And there should be more coming up. They'll put announcements out about that. But if you are interested, I would suggest directly you get in contact with Don Dumont. Don Dumont is a professor here at Memphis College of Art, and many of you already know him. Look him up, find him, find his number, call him, get in touch with him, and let him know that you're interested. I know that there's a $200 deposit that's due sometime here in, I want to say in March. I may be wrong there, but I believe it's sometime in March. So talk to Don, find out exactly what you need to do to get involved, and then should you decide you want to come along, then hopefully, with all, barring any health problems that may come along, I will see you there, and I look forward to it. I look forward to getting back there so much. All right. Thank you for watching.